So my textured map that I created is going to be this one, and it focuses on cross-cutting and the principle of original horizontality. So what I did was I did multiple rock layers, and I gave them each their own touch. So each different layer or each different material is a different rock layer. Starting off with the bubble wrap up to the cardboard. Here's a little legend. I stated right here what is the principle of original horizontality and cross-cutting. Cross-cutting is the geologic feature that cuts across a layer of rocks, and whatever cuts across is the youngest layer compared to the other ones. And then the principle of original horizontality are layered rocks are generally laid down flat on their formation. So the bottom layer is going to be the oldest layer, and then the top layer will be the youngest. And I labeled that right here, youngest deposited last, deposited first. It's the oldest one. So each of these represents a different type of rock. I did a bubble wrap material, a plastic hatch material, burlap, a diamond, felt, a tarp plastic material, and cardboard. Then I did regular paper on top, and I colored it red for people that can see the colors. I know that this is supposed to be meant for people who either are deaf or blind. So the textures are for the people that are visually impaired, and then the little directions that I have for the people that cannot hear. So the bottom layer is going to be bubble wrap, which I stated that's going to be the mauve limestone. The next one's the red wall limestone, the Supai group, the hermit shell, the Coconino sandstone, the Toroidal formation, and then the Kaibab limestone. And then this is just the cross section. I'm doing it based off of the Grand Canyon, so those are all rock layers that currently reside in the Grand Canyon. So for this lab, I would like the students to be able to identify the different types of layers. If they are visually impaired, they will be able to put their hand over this and feel the differences. So yes, they're visually impaired, but they could still be able to hear. So I could explain that the bubble wrap is the first layer. Just keep that in mind. And as you go up and you feel like they feel the differences, you know, they'll figure out, okay, the bottom one is, if I can just say the bottom one, the bubble wrap is the oldest. As they go up, they'll know that these are younger. And then when they feel this, they'll notice that there's a big difference. Whereas for the students that are able to see, but are, they have hearing impairment, I will add more instruction, and they would be able to label it themselves. So they will be able to see this and label that this is the eldest, and then that this cross section is the youngest, because it goes over all of the rock layers. The cross-cutting principle it's pretty straightforward, and I would say simple to understand. So the students, they won't have trouble figuring out which one is the youngest with the correct instructions given. So for the visually impaired, they're going to be able to feel this and feel, okay, this cuts across diagonally. It has to be the youngest. For the people that are, they have a hearing impairment, they could just read the instructions, follow them, and they will be able to see this cross section and see that, okay, this is the youngest one.